If you guys know my history, then you probably know why this video could be a very big story, not just now, but for the future as well, as details do arise from this. That being FaZe Banks admitting to himself, and at least part of FaZe Clan, running and operating a CSGO skin gambling site way back in the day to potentially help pay for their Counter-Strike roster. And again, if you guys know the history of this, you'd understand why it's a pretty big story. I'm not accusing FaZe Clan of anything here either way. Whether or not more details come out about this, it could be a very cool story and maybe not so cool of a story. Here's the clip for all of you guys. The full podcast will also be linked down below, and then we'll talk about this a bit further.
And then years later, you know what I mean, I went and did my FaZe thing, and they were still doing well on the internet, and we kind of like reconnected. And around this time, Counter-Strike was kind of the game, and there were a lot of these like gambling websites with skins. Like I don't know if you guys know anything about that, but there's like a currency in Counter-Strike, and it's skins. There's a real market for it, and some of these skins, like a skin for like the sniper or like a knife or whatever, some of these go upwards of like $10,000 on the open market. Like people pay actual like $10,000 USD for a fucking little picture on a screen. And it makes no sense, but if you really like dive into like the mechanics of it, like you have to buy a case, and then you have to buy a key, and then you have a 1 in 10,000 chance to get this knife. So if you add it all up, the amount of money spent getting one of these skins, you know what I mean? Yeah. So there's a whole real market. It's a real thing, and you can trade these freely between, you know what I mean? I could send you one of these skins, whatever. So with that, people started creating these like gambling sites where you could gamble with these skins, and it was kind of like gray area because it's a skin in a game, and there's no actual real like value to it. Like the government puts absolutely no value to it. So we came up with this idea with these kids. I came up with this idea for a different way to do it, and we branded it the right way. And my motivation for doing it actually was, at the time we weren't making enough money to buy a CSGO team. All in, the venture was going to cost us like $1 million, and we definitely did not have anything close to that. So my brain, like we got to finesse it. We got to figure out how to make the money to buy this team now, because in the next 6 months, year, this team's gonna be worth like $4 or $5 million, and we're not gonna be able to get into this game, which in our heads we need to get in this game. So we create this website, and through our rake and all this shit, we were making like $200,000 a day. And we set it up in Antigua. We set it up in Antigua. I had a house in Antigua for like.
Where's that?
For like Antigua, like in the Caribbean.
Island, yeah.
Where?
It's an island.
It's one of those like islands where they.
The best.
It's an island in the Caribbean where where gambling, where running a gambling website is completely legal if you have the permits and stuff to do it. So we flew there. We flew there private, sat down with the guy who runs the country, basically paid him like $100,000, and he gave us the license. And we had this whole estate. And we had guys with, because this place is crazy. Like if you don't live at the top of the hill in one of these like crazy estate mansions, like you live in a favela, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everything's crazy. A bottle of water is like $5, and my buddy broke his iPhone out there and had to spend like 2 racks on it. And we had like a little shitty Jeep Cherokee that we were driving around. It cost us 80 G's. Like everything, it's just like this little like piece of land that like nobody gives a about. Right. There's no money to be made, so like whatever. But yeah, we were out there and ran this website for a few months, and then the whatever, it was all regulated and shut down. And we were the only ones who were doing it legitimate, so we shut our shit down, and there's still people who are doing it, making crazy money.
So there you have it. FaZe Banks admitting to the fact that they actually did. I'm not necessarily sure who he includes when he says we, but he himself at least was tied to a CSGO gambling site, which is unnamed in that clip. I have my assumptions. I'm not going to say those for now, but yes, reportedly making upwards of $200,000 per day. And again, I'm not accusing FaZe Clan of anything, but as more details come out about this could bring to light at least a bit of controversy, although he does say they ran it legitly. If that's true and they met all legal measures, I really can't complain too much. It really depends what you guys think about a FaZe Clan owner, or at least maybe what could be multiple FaZe Clan people operating this skin gambling website. If they did it all in the correct way, I have no problems with this. It could be a very cool story as to how an esports organization paid for a Counter-Strike roster. That's a great storyline. If other things do arise out of this, if you guys are from outside the Counter-Strike scene or not a fan of CSGO, a few years back when all of this was peaking, there was a lot of controversy and a lot of scamming sites out there as well. A lot of stories came from the CSGO scene involving tons of personalities faking or scamming or being oblivious to the fact they were promoting scamming websites as well. And it was a very, very hairy period for Counter-Strike as well as gambling. Now FaZe Banks apparently, and maybe some other FaZe Clan members, operated a skin gambling website, yet again unnamed, to potentially pay for their Counter-Strike roster, admitting to everything, which is absolutely maddening, especially for all of you guys who followed this initial story way back in the day. This will not be the last time I talk about this. I just want to get that story out there, guys, get the video out there for all of you. We can speculate, we can leave our thoughts, and we will see what else comes of this. But if you're asking me, something crazy is coming, guys. Something crazy is coming. Until next time, hope you guys all enjoy. Drink your water, drink your coffee all day long. Videos coming out on this channel. Until then, take care of yourselves. I'll see you guys back here sometime soon.